So let's talk about the show.
Let's talk about the show.
All right, we'll go through the card here from bottom to top. First, we got Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston.
Doesn't mean anything. Kofi's going over. What do you think, Adam?
Randy Orton's going over because it's Randy Orton.
Interesting. Okay, I feel strongly that Kofi's going over. Traditional booking logic, because Kofi looked good on this show, would say the reverse. But I mean, after everything they've done and what they're trying to do, to have Randy go over here would just be just the worst. And they've already done, the thing is, they've already done the screw job thing with Legacy. They've already done that. So they can't do that again. Or at least they shouldn't. So, it's such a nothing match. That's nothing to the show. But if they want to do anything with Kofi, he's got to go over. That's if. But if they do, he's gotta, because if Orton, they've hurt Orton with what they've done instead of helping Kofi, especially that pin at Survivor Series. I thought was really bad, and so yeah.
John Morrison and Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental title.
The bloom is off the rose with John Morrison. Drew McIntyre's the new guy. He's winning the belt. What do you think?
I don't know if it'll happen here or SmackDown in the future, like the next 3 weeks or so. Maybe a no contest here or something leading to a SmackDown match.
It could be. I would like to see maybe there being some more time here, because they hinted the feud, last week. They did the win this week. But I mean, the thing is that to go from him beating him clean on SmackDown to kind of a different finish here, I don't know. I mean, I think no matter what they do here, if they don't switch the belt here, they're just delaying the inevitable. And I don't think that's going to help Drew's momentum. I think for Drew's momentum, he needs to come out here, needs to win it. He hasn't been showcased on the last couple of pay-per-views, and he missed out on bragging rights because of their last-minute booking screw-ups where they changed the whole SmackDown team. So I think, again, for momentum's sakes, both Kofi and Drew need to win here. The theme of this show needs to be elevation.
Christian and Shelton Benjamin in a ladder match for the ECW title.
I don't follow ECW, so I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this, because I think you probably follow it a little bit more than me. But as best I've seen from just reading the results and listening to Darren and all that, I don't see anybody else to challenge Christian.
Nope.
And a ladder match is Sheldon's match, so they might as well put the belt on him.
Yeah, but if they put the belt on Shelton, it still faces the champion, because for some reason that Shelton is just a babyface.
Yeah.
And the only other challenger is William Regal, and they've beaten him like a drum.
The problem is that ECW, because it's below the radar, it's kind of like 20 years ago. I always used to prefer the IC title division because it had guys like Brett and Kurt Hennig and guys like that in it, and you never knew how they're going to book it because they could afford to be different. And two baby faces in a ladder match is different, I don't see the point in a ladder match. They're going to kill each other for no reason. It won't add a single buy, and it won't help ECW's ratings, which hit like a record low this week of 0.8. But I mean, with it being Sheldon's match and Christian having beaten everybody else in the brand, I don't see anything else to do but put the belt on Sheldon. It doesn't matter, though.
No, I like Christian. I don't know if he'll keep it. Yeah, probably Sheldon.
Yeah, I mean, they could do a lot more with Christian than they're doing now, but his wishy-washy selling and his kind of indie or mid-card look and ring gear don't really help his cause for getting to Raw or SmackDown. I think Christian could be very valuable on SmackDown, but they did just seem very tentative in using him.
The Undertaker and Batista in a chair match for the heavyweight title.
Here's the thing. I see a lot of belts changing hands in this show, so they have to switch the belt to Batista in the sense, unless they're having Taker hold it through Mania, which they might. But this is sort of like the culmination of the Batista story, so unless they're rematching on SmackDown or the Royal Rumble, it kind of seems like they're going to change it. So it's a funny one.
I can't see them just beating Taker here.
Yeah.
In this pay-per-view, TLC,
Yeah, this throwaway December show, why would you beat The Undertaker?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about the finish for this one.
Maybe Ray?
What's that?
Maybe Ray gets involved?
Maybe. I guess it depends on the... I haven't seen the spoilers. I'm sure he lost the street fight, but I don't know if they write him out. I'm presuming not. Maybe they get Ray involved. Maybe they extend the Ray feud on further. I guess that would be the only thing to do, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they'll do that. Maybe they'll do that because it just seems like it's not the right... It's kind of the right time for Batista in kind of a way, but it's not the right time for Taker to lose it, It's just not. So I'd be kind of cold on them switching the belt here, especially since Batista beat him down on. Oh well, no, that wasn't a go home show, so never mind that.
John Cena and Sheamus in a tables match for the WWE title.
They have to put the belt on Sheamus.
Okay, that flattened me.
If they don't put the belt on Sheamus here, after the best push they've given anyone for years, and after watching this Raw, no one's going to believe another push for years. They have to put the belt on him. They have to. Like, if Cena wins...
They won't.
What's that?
They won't.
They might.
No.
This is what I'd do. I would put the belt on Sheamus, Royal Rumble 7 weeks later, have Sheamus destroy guys on Raw for 7 weeks, have Cena come back, win the belt at the Rumble, do Cena versus Taker at WrestleMania, because I think that's the direction they're going. And Cena will be like the first guy to officially beat him, for getting ECW or whatever like that, since his big push. And from that point forward, Sheamus becomes the big upper mid-card guy who the new babyface beats to get to the main event. That's what I do. If they're ever going to put the title on Sheamus, they better do it now. And after a push like this, to have him not go all the way, they got to put the belt on him. Or else
this just completely knocked me off. I never thought you'd say that.
I wasn't thinking that until I sat down, and I haven't put a lot of thought into the preview for this show. I have to admit, it's been a long weekend, and I apologize to the guys out there for not really sitting down, because I try to take an hour to plan things out a little bit, because when you think things through, a lot of these things kind of, because I have been an indie booker, so these things I can kind of see where they're going. When I look at Sheamus, he can't lose. You can't beat him after what they've done. They've done the best push they've done in years. They have to put him over.
I think he could lose on, just because I can't think of a better word, a fluke.
Well, they can do some sort of a screw or something like that. He
doesn't have to be pinned. This is the thing.
That's true. That's definitely true. But after what they've done, for Sheamus to come up short after all this and all the history they've dug up, like the way they cut those promos on Raw made me think, and they're talking about Cena's 7 years of history, made me think they really realize they need to do something. And I don't know, we're talking about TNA versus WWE, we're going to talk about that next week and stuff like that. They need to elevate guys. And beating Cena here, I don't think is the end of the world. I don't think it really means anything. But having Sheamus beat Cena will do everything for Sheamus. It is just a tables match, and Sheamus can beat him without Cena looking bad. Cena doesn't have to tap. He doesn't have to be pinned. And a table match stip works both ways. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'd put it on Sheamus, and I think there's a 60-40 chance, at least a 50-50 chance. I think they might.
And then I believe it's the advertisement event. Chris Jericho, Big Show against DX, TLC for the world title, the world title.
I think that they can go either way here, but I'm really leaning towards DX for a couple of reasons. One is that the way I look at the lay of the rest of this show, I don't see Taker winning his match clean, and they're not going to main event this show with Batista and Taker. It doesn't matter. They're not going to main event with it anyway. And they're not going to main event the show with Sheamus going over for the belt. I don't think. I'm sure this will be the main event.
Yeah.
And I would think that DX...
And also, sorry, just to cut you off. This is the TLC match. This is the advertised main event of the show. Show's called this, so I assume
yes, absolutely, yes. Yeah, absolutely, you're right. They'll finish with this match. DX for the baby faces, without going too far and stating the obvious. Hunter is the boss's son-in-law, and there's nobody else for. This is the pinnacle of the Jericho team. This is the biggest team they can face. This is the biggest thing they can do. After this, there's nothing else for them to do together. So I don't see the point in not switching the belts. So unless DX specifically don't want them, I think they'll switch the belts. And I think that'll be the main event of the show, and I think it should be a great match. Only if they start doing unprotected chair shots again, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it.
Ditto.
I think it's going to be a fascinating show.
Yeah. I really want to see Cena and Sheamus.
Yeah, I'm gonna be getting really into these, not near falls, but these near table breaks.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
They matter. They really matter.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a fascinating show.